Good morning and welcome to Nora's Dog Training Company. We're here this morning with Toddy and Fred, and what we're going to be demonstrating for you today on video is your puppy's ability to understand and respond to his formal on-leash obedience commands, the corrections and the motivations that we give the dogs when we're working with them, and the training equipment that we're using. Fred is using a regular 6-foot web training leash, and he keeps the bulk of the leash folded neatly in his right hand. That leaves his left hand free to give any correction that's needed, and the only correction that we ever give here at school is a little tug and release on the training collar. And that is the second piece of equipment that we're using. Toddy will come home with his very own training collar, and you're going to be taught how to use that properly during your follow-up training session. Now, Toddy is sitting very nicely at Fred's left, which is where all of our obedience training is done. And the first exercise that we're going to be demonstrating for you is heeling. The command is Toddy heel, and at this point, Toddy has a job to do. He has to focus on your left leg when you're walking, and each time that you stop walking, he's been taught to sit automatically to wait for his next command. So no more being whipped out of your shoes when you're walking your dog. He should stay right even with your left leg, and every time that you stop walking, he should sit automatically without being told to wait for his next command. So if you're out walking and you stop to cross the street or talk to someone, he should be sitting nicely at your left to wait for his next command. And the next command that we're going to demonstrate is the sit stay. The stay is a hand and a voice command, and it is a one-word command. You do not use his name. You're going to practice this exercise indoors as well as outdoors. You're going to start out at about 30 seconds and you're going to work all the way up to 3 minutes. When Fred returns back to him, he walks all the way around him as an additional distraction, and Toddy knows to remain seated until he gets a little pat for praise and they take off heeling again. And those sit stays and your down stays are going to be really important because it helps to develop self-control and maturity. Nice heeling skills, so you never have to worry that you can't walk him. And you're going to get hands-on practice working with him with Fred as your coach tomorrow so that you know how to correct him. Fred leaves him in another sit stay. Now your sit stays develop self-control, focus, maturity, the ability to pay attention for longer as we lengthen out the amount of time that he can hold his sit stays. Now this time, instead of returning back to him, Fred will demonstrate the recall or the come on command. You do use his name, you use a happy voice, you praise him when he gets back to you, and then they go right back to heel. So as you can see, everything starts and stops at heel position. That is our starting point and our stopping point. And any time that he's in heel position, he's waiting for you to tell him what you expect of him next. Fred's going to leave him in another sit stay. He's going to walk out to the end of his leash and turn to face him. And then you lighten your tone of voice and you call him in and praise him on the way in. Comes right in and sits. That's beautifully done. And then back to heel. So he's a very, very smart puppy, or adolescent, I should say. He enjoys doing his training. You see his tail is up. He's looking up at Fred. You want that eye contact with him. Now the next exercise that we're going to demonstrate for you is the down from a heel position. So with the dog seated at your left, you take your left open palm, push it straight down toward the ground, and give the one-word command to down and stay. The long down stay, when you're practicing at home, you're going to start out at about 1 minute, and you're going to work all the way up to 5 minutes. And this is a great exercise to practice right in your living room. Again, we're developing self-control, focus, maturity. When Fred returns back to him, he's going to walk all the way around him just as he did on the sit stay, returning all the way back around to heel position. And at that point, Fred gives him another command because that's what he expects. He holds that down stay until Fred tells him what he wants him to do next. Now he's backing up a little bit on his sits, so we will teach you how to correct that when you're here for your lesson, if he does it to you. Fred's going to demonstrate the down from a heel again. He leaves him in a stay, walks out to the end of his leash and turns to face him. And Toddy's doing really well at not being distracted. He's not sniffing the ground or as soon as I said it, right? And this time Fred will call him out of that down. Comes right in and sits. Very good. Now the next exercise and the last exercise that we're going to be demonstrating for you is going to be your down from a distance. This is a little bit harder exercise because you're not next to the dog. So you're going to leave your puppy in a sit stay. You're going to turn to face him. This is the only time that you use your right hand to give the command, and you give him the down command from a distance, and that was beautifully done. Now we've demonstrated for you your heel, your automatic sit, your sit stay, your down from a distance, and your come on command. These are the commands that you're going to be practicing with Toddy when you take him home. We're going to have a good lesson with you. We're very proud of him, and we know that you will be too. And thank you for choosing Nora's Dog Training Company.